other aspects related to wind movement, but today we will learn about the general pattern of atmospheric circulation first. Thereafter, we will learn about the planetary winds, seasonal or periodic winds, and local winds. Okay, so this will be today's agenda. Thereafter, we will do the dictation part. Okay, so first of all, the general pattern of atmospheric circulation. Let's draw the diagram first. Diagram is given in NCERT. Let's practice that first. Simply these are the pressure belts. Let's name them first. Right. So equatorial low, subtropical high, subtropical, subpolar low, subpolar low, and we can say polar low, also polar high, polar high. Okay. And here also we have polar high, subtropical high pressure, subpolar low pressure. These pressure belts, yesterday we learned about them. So as we said that the wind flows from high pressure to low pressure, there is some fixed wind pattern that we observe because of fixed pressure belts that are formed in these latitudes. So I am saying fixed, but they are not stationary. Of course, they are moving. Yesterday we learned about them. But as the pressure belt is throughout year, it is present. So high pressure to low pressure, the wind circulation is also happening throughout the year. Wind circulation between these pressure belts. Let's understand that what is happening. So we said that this is low pressure belt, and from subtropical high pressure belt, and in both hemisphere the wind is trying to move towards this equatorial low pressure belt. Okay, but try to understand here, due to Coriolis effect, the wind will try to deflect to its right in the northern hemisphere and to its left in southern hemisphere. So wind is originating from here, so it will try to deflect to its right, not our right, wind's right. So the direction will be like this. Here, if it is originating, it is reflecting to left. This is the wind pattern along the ground. We are talking along the ground. So between subtropical high to equatorial low, the wind movement that is happening along the ground, it looks like this, and these winds are called as trade winds or easterlies. Okay, these winds are called as trade winds or easterlies. यहाँ पर हम इसका नेमिंग कर देते हैं. Why they are called as trade winds? During ancient times, the traders used to benefit because of these trade winds, as they are blowing throughout the year. So all these ships of the traders, it was, let's say, of help for them. Okay. So if the, let's say, the trader wants to move from this location to this location, So these winds will automatically help those traders. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो थ्रू आउट ईयर इसी डायरेक्शन में फ्लो कर रहा है. तो ट्रेडिशनली इट इज नेम्ड एज ट्रेड विंड्स in general terms, but geographically it is easterlies. Why? It is blowing from east to west. It is blowing from east to west. That's why the name easterlies. ठीक है, ये ईस्ट में ओरिजिन हो रहा है, वेस्ट की तरफ जाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, बिकॉज ऑफ कोरियोलिस इफेक्ट ऑफ कोर्स. Is this clear? Now what is happening here in this belt? Subtropical high to subtropical low, high pressure to low pressure. Again we have the wind moving from high pressure to low pressure. The wind is deflecting to its right. In northern hemisphere it is deflecting to its right, and in southern hemisphere it is deflecting to its left. This deflection is more. Why? Because the Coriolis effect is more from equator to poles. This deflection is more as compared to trade winds. ऐसे आप ड्रॉ करते वक्त ज्यादा डिफ्लेक्शन दिखा सकते हैं. Okay, so we can name them westerlies. These are called as westerlies. As they origin from west, they move from west to east. That's why the name westerlies. Thereafter, polar high to subpolar low, polar high to subpolar low. So there again we have movement of winds. Now they are moving in this manner, deflecting to their right, deflecting to their right. If you are showing the direction in a wrong manner, then diagram is incorrect. Then diagram is incorrect. ये जो है डायरेक्शन आप जब ड्रॉ करते हैं आंसर एग्जाम में विंड का, अगर इसी तरीके से होना चाहिए. इफ इट इज रॉन्ग देन डायग्राम बिकम्स इनकरेक्ट. सो दीज आर कॉल्ड एज पोलर ईस्टर्लीज. नाउ these are called as polar easterlies. Okay, again originating from east, moving towards west, moving towards west. सेल्स के बारे में अभी बात करेंगे. जस्ट नाउ आई एम टेलिंग यू द विंड मूवमेंट दैट इज हैपनिंग अलोंग द ग्राउंड. ओके, एंड दिस इज फिक्स्ड, दिस इज परमानेंट. This is fixed and this is permanent, we can say. Or throughout year the wind movement within these belts is happening in this manner, in this direction. Okay. Now we are saying here that tricellular model. So something is happening here, that the wind movement is happening in a cellular manner. How it is happening? Let's understand that. When these trade winds are moving like this, they are coming at equatorial low. And we said that at equatorial low, the wind is getting heated because of excess insolation. So the trade winds, when they are moving like this, they come in contact with the heated ground surface, and they immediately warm up, become light and move up like this. They move up. ठीक है, they move towards upper atmosphere. And in upper atmosphere they are diverged like this. In upper atmosphere they are diverged like this, and when they reach 20-25 degree north and south, they tend to descend here above subtropical high. So if you take the cross section, it looks like this. यहां से मैं ड्रॉ करता हूं. ठीक है, तो ये ग्राउंड से आ रहा है, ये अभी ऊपर मूव करेगा. Okay, and then cell is formed like this, right? So which cell is called like this? जो यहाँ पे जो सेल तैयार हो रहा है उसको क्या नाम दे रहे हैं? हेडलेस सेल। ये जोग्राफर्स के नाम, क्लाइमेटोलॉजिस्ट के नाम है, तो उनके नाम पे ये दिया हुआ है। Okay, headless cell. In the similar manner, we observe cellular movement of wind here also. Now, what is happening here? When these westerlies are moving like this, and we can say that polar easterlies are moving like this. So, because of rotation effect of Earth, this wind from the surface will try to move up. Again, it will diverge in the upper atmosphere. Some of it will move towards polar high, some of it will move towards subtropical high, like this. ठीक है? It is happening in both hemisphere. It is happening in both hemisphere. एक मिनट, जरूरत हो गया। ओके, सो हियर सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई, तो वहां पे विंड आएगा, ऐसे याद रखना है। यहाँ पे लो है तो वहां पे ऊपर जाएगा, ऐसे इस तरीके से, यहाँ पे आके वो। ओके, सो व्हाट आर द नेम्स? ये हेडली सेल्स है। दिस इज कॉल्ड एज फेरल सेल्स। This is called as polar cell. This diagram is very, very important. This is pending question in mains examination also. General pattern of atmospheric circulation या फिर tricellular model. We have asked even in mains test series many times this question, because today or tomorrow UPSC will surely ask this question. Heat budget and this one. Is this clear? So, whatever the winds that are moving along the ground between these pressure belts, they are moving throughout the year, and they are moving on larger surface of the earth. That's why they are called as planetary winds. These are called as planetary winds. For two reasons. One, they are blowing throughout the year in the same direction, and second is they are blowing on a larger scale, larger area on the earth surface. So, they are called as planetary winds. ठीक है. Now we are going to learn about them, more about them, planetary winds. So, when the question is like explain the general pattern of atmospheric circulation or explain this tricellular model. First of all, you mention about in introduction you mention about how the pressure belts are formed, different kinds of pressure belts on the earth's surface, thermally and dynamically, and thereafter you start, let's say by drawing this diagram, start explaining that the wind from subtropical high pressure belts from both hemisphere, they converge near the equatorial low. Because of heated ground, they are also getting heated, and due to, let's say, heat, or due to, let's say, higher temperatures, they are moving in upward direction due to convection. Okay, in upper atmosphere they are diverging, and in 20° north and 20° south they are descending down, again further, let's say, helping in formation and sustaining subtropical high pressure. So, this cellular movement of the wind is forming headless cell. सो ये एक्सप्लेन करते जाना है, हर एक सेल कैसे तैयार हो रहा है. ओके, इज दिस फाइन? एनी क्वेश्चन ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स? Now we'll learn about the planetary events further. Trade winds, westerlies, and polar easterlies. First of all, trade winds. So just now I told you why they are called as trade winds or easterlies. So simply we need to know that they blow from east to west. From subtropical high to equatorial low. See, I am writing short forms because we hope that अभी ये आपको पता है. Second, used to help traders in ancient times. That's why the name. That's why the name trade winds. Third, ये बेसिक लिखने के बाद हम इसका क्लाइमेटोलॉजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस पढ़ेंगे सारे विंड्स का. ठीक है, क्लाइमेटोलॉजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस कैन बी आस्क्ड इन प्री और मेंस. So what happens because of these trade winds? What happens? Trade winds. See, all these planetary winds are helping for redistribution of heat in a latitudinal manner. So latitudinal heat budget, सबसे पहले तो आप वही चीज लिख सकते हैं, but that is common for all planetary winds. Okay, redistribution of heat, or we can say latitudinal heat budget. But the climatological significance specifically, simply when these trade winds are onshore winds, okay, they bring rainfall. They bring rainfall. For example, simply monsoon. Monsoon winds are trade winds only. Monsoon winds are trade winds only. They are bringing rainfall. Or China type of climate. China's eastern coast. It receives rainfall for 6 months during summer due to continuous onshore trade winds. Okay, onshore trade winds, this one. When they are offshore, it result into dry conditions. For example, tropical deserts, desert formations. Why most of the tropical deserts are located on the western margins of the continents? ये क्वेश्चन था क्या? देख लो तो कब आया हुआ है. When this question was asked? पूछा तो है क्या? कभी तो पूछा हुआ है ये क्वेश्चन जरूर. Not able to exactly remember. प्री में पूछा है, मेंस में पूछा है. Anyone remembering this?
Sir, 2011 prelims I was asked.
हाँ, प्रीलिम्स में तो आया हुआ है. मेंस में भी आ सकता है. आया हुआ है 2013 में मेंस में क्वेश्चन. देखिए, मेजर हॉट डेजर्ट्स इन नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर आर लोकेटेड बिटवीन 20 डिग्री टू 30 डिग्री नॉर्थ एंड ऑन द वेस्टर्न साइड ऑफ कॉन्टिनेंट्स. व्हाई? 2013. सो पहली बार क्वेश्चन पेपर बन रहा था, सो दे आस्क्ड बेसिक क्वेश्चंस. 2013. One of the reason is this one. Open your atlas. Find out tropical deserts in northern hemisphere. Give examples. Online students, immediately check the atlas. Tropical deserts कौन से है?
Atacama Desert.
Atacama Desert is there. Then Sahara Desert is there. Then Kalahari Desert is there. और नामीब डेजर्ट दिखाई दे रहा है कहीं? सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में नामीब डेजर्ट, अफ्रीका में. फाइंड आउट मोजावे डेजर्ट इन यूएसए. नदर्न अमेरिका, मोजावे डेजर्ट मिल रहा है. नामीब डेजर्ट, अटाकामा डेजर्ट, अटाकामा इन चिली, नामीब इन South Africa and Namibia there in southern African region. Then we have Mojave in USA, western USA, southwestern USA, Mojave Desert. Most of these are located in 20 to 30 degree, right? And on the western coast or western margins of continents. Why?
Because of continental trade winds.
Continental?
You have to offshore trade winds.
ऑफशोर बोलना है उसको, ठीक है. ऑफशोर. ऑनशोर मतलब फ्रॉम ओशन सरफेस टू लैंड. ऑफशोर मीन्स फ्रॉम लैंड टू. सो ट्राई टू सी एंड लोकेट द ट्रॉपिक्स देयर, हाउ द ट्रेड विंड्स माइट बी मूविंग देयर. वर्ल्ड मैप में देखिए डायरेक्ट. So if the Namib Desert is taken example, you can see that the from east to west movement must be from east to west. So from land to ocean, all these winds will move from land to ocean in that region. Atacama Desert, Chile, again land to ocean as they are moving from east to west. Same is case with Mojave Desert. Okay. और we can say that 20 to 30 degree अगर हम लेते हैं half part of that question, the Sahara Desert, also Mojave Desert is that example. ठीक है. Sahara Desert 20 to 30. Even India's Thar Desert 20 to 30. वही लोकेशंस है. Offshore winds. Okay. Most of the winds flowing, basically these are trade winds and they are flowing from land to ocean. So it promotes atmospheric stability, or simply there is no moisture availability and there will not be condensation and precipitation. This is one of the reason. Second reason is the cold currents flowing along the western margins of these continents in tropics. Cold currents. We are going to learn in oceanography, but simply let me tell you, Humboldt current is flowing along the western margins of South America. Humboldt current. See the ocean currents map. See the ocean currents map. Which ocean current is flowing along the western coast of Africa in the southern hemisphere? In the southern hemisphere,
Benguela.
Benguela current. And in northern hemisphere, western coast of Africa,
Guinea.
Guinea current, or Canaries current also extends down to, we can say, western African region, Canaries current. ठीक है? So basically these cold currents are promoting atmospheric stability. It does not provide moisture for the winds, let's say, to bring on the surface, land surface. Cold है ना, तो cold is not evaporating. Basically there is no evaporation, and that promotes atmospheric stability. So these both factors actually work there, desert formation. ठीक है? Fine. Now let's talk about westerlies. Westerlies. They blow from west to east and from subtropical high to subtropical low pressure, subpolar low pressure. Okay. Westerlies. Second, they move from warmer region to cold region. So heat transfer में सबसे ज्यादा ये रोल प्ले करते हैं. Heat transfer from tropical to subtropical and polar regions. Then climatological significance, prominent one, ठीक है, westerlies flowing over the ocean surface. When onshore brings rainfall throughout year. For example, western coast of Europe. Western coast of Europe. This is called as marine climate. Marine climate. Throughout year there is rainfall, British type of climate, western coast of Europe. Okay. Second, they help in formation of temperate cyclones. Temperate cyclones. In 60 to 65 or 55 to 65 degree north and south. So when the warm air mass and cold air mass, basically these westerlies are carrying the warmer air masses from tropical and subtropical region to the polar region. From polar region, the cold air mass is coming. So when there is confrontation of these air masses with contrasting properties, there is possibility of formation of temperate cyclones there. Then unique type of Mediterranean climate. Is formed because of westerlies. What is uniqueness in the Mediterranean climate? There the winters are rainy and summers are dry. Generally बारिश कब होती है? समर में ना, बट वहां पे कहा विंटर में बारिश होती है और समर में बारिश नहीं होती है. That's why it is called unique. Now, why it is happening? Any idea? Pay attention here. We said that these pressure belts are not constant and they are moving continuously according to apparent movement of sun. Let's say this is subtropical high, right? Subtropical high कहाँ पर होगा? 20 से 30 में. Where is Mediterranean region? एटलास पे कौन से लैटिट्यूड पे है बताइए? अबाउट 30 मतलब 40 या 50 के आसपास है. सो समवेयर हियर, दिस रीजन, somewhere here, can we say that? Okay, no, pay attention here. है ना, above 30 है ना, 30 to 40 के आसपास में. Now when there is, let's say, equinox, at this condition they are under the influence of westerlies, and when there is apparent movement of sun to the southward, so when there is winter in the north, what happens is all these pressure belts and the planetary wind circulation shift to south. So now they are continuously under the influence of westerlies for 6 months. And when these winds are moving in this direction, immediately they are carrying the moisture over Mediterranean Sea and they are coming as onshore winds on the Mediterranean region. What is Mediterranean region? Italy, Greece and that region, Spain, ये सारा जो है वो Mediterranean region है. ठीक है, the adjoining region of Mediterranean Sea. Okay, first thing. So in winter, onshore winds brings rainfall, and which are these onshore winds? Westerlies. ये बहुत ही important concept है. ठीक है. Now what happens in summer when the apparent movement of winds and pressure belts, we can say it is in the northward direction according to apparent movement of sun. ठीक है, तो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? ये प्रेशर बेल्ट शिफ्ट हो गए, राइट. सो ये सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई जो है वो थोड़ा सा ऊपर शिफ्ट हो गया है, और ठीक है, और वो कहाँ चला गया है? मेडिटेरियन के रीजन के ऊपर चला गया है. दैट मीन्स दिस रीजन इज नाउ अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ ट्रेड विंड्स. This region is now under the influence of trade winds. And how trade winds are moving? And they will blow from land to ocean now. They will blow from land to ocean. And because of this, they are dry. No rainfall during summer. Unique kind of climate is observed in Mediterranean region because of the shifting of pressure belt, shifting of planetary circulation, and they are coming under the influence of onshore westerlies. During winter they bring rainfall, and during summer they are coming under the influence of dry trade winds, or we can say dry offshore trade winds, and that's why there is no rainfall. This unique kind of Mediterranean type of climate is also observed on the western coast of USA near California, also in southern coast Chile. तो southern America, Chile के यहाँ पे भी मिलता है. Similar kind of situation, shifting. तो वो region जब under influence of onshore westerlies होगा, वहाँ पे rainfall आएगा. ठीक है, the same region we can say. Fine. This can be asked in prelims examination or even in mains examination. Fine. Let's talk about polar easterlies. हाँ.
सर जो मेरे प्लैनेटरी विंड्स है उनको एयर मासेस बोलेंगे क्या?
नहीं, उनको एयर मासेस नहीं बोलेंगे. Rather, air masses are carried forward in a particular direction by these planetary winds.
तो जैसे अभी आपने बोला ना टेम्परेट साइकिल में पोलर से एयर मास आ रहा है और इधर से एयर, तो वो मतलब उस स्पेसिफिक रीजन के लिए मतलब
बिल्कुल
प्लैनेटरी विंड को
नहीं, पूरे एरिया में नहीं होता है. एयर मासेस आर ओवर सर्टन यूनिफॉर्म एरियाज. ठीक है, दे आर डेवलप्ड ओवर सर्टन यूनिफॉर्म एरियाज. दे आर कॉल्ड एज सोर्स रीजन्स, and these air masses are gaining properties of those source region. कमिंग लेक्चर में हम पढ़ेंगे ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स के बाद एयर मासेस पढ़ेंगे, देयर आफ्टर विल लर्न अबाउट टेम्परेट साइक्लोन्स. ठीक है. पोलर ईस्टर्लीज आर ब्लोइंग फ्रॉम ईस्ट टू वेस्ट. We can say from polar high to subpolar low. ठीक है. So this one, polar easterlies. Here you can mention that they help in formation of temperate cyclone. Temperate cyclones. Right? Now, what is other significance? Polar easterlies. Why? Because they are coming from much colder region, and now the warm winds which are coming from subtropical high, the westerlies, they are converging near subpolar low, no? तो heat redistribution वहां पे हो रहा है. Okay, fine. So this is the climatological significance of planetary events.